Hello. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the new live stream on computer networks. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Please let me know if my video and audio are perfect. So let's wait for 5 more minutes so that other guys can also join. Hello. Welcome, guys. Welcome back to the new live stream of computer networks. Please let me know in the chat section if my video and audio are proper. Please let me know. Please let me know, guys, in the chat. If all is set, we are ready to go within 4 minutes from now. Welcome, everyone, and very good evening. Good evening, guys. Please let me know in the chat section whether my video is proper or is there any problem. Please let me know. Please put the thumbs up. Okay, I can see some in chat. I can see some names: Rishi, Shivkumar, Sushti Rajput, Nikita, Shivkumar, Thakre. Yes, thank you guys for letting me know. Let's wait for 3 more minutes and we will start with our today's session. Yeah, cannot see the comments. Thanks, Rishi, for letting me know. Please send the link with your friends so that they can also join the session. Last time, actually, there was some problem with my network, so that's why I was not able to continue with that session. So don't worry, today it will not happen, and yeah, we will complete our first session, of course. Please, if you are in, please like the session. And yes, I think 3 more minutes left so that we can continue with the session. Okay, till then, if you guys have any questions on computer network, you can put that in the chat, and I will try to address that in ongoing session. If you have any kind of questions related to network, it might be simple as what is internet. Thanks, Shivkumar, for sharing this link. Thank you so much. Hello, Aditya. So yeah, 2 more minutes to go. If you guys have any questions related to computer network, it might be simple as like what is internet, or you can put anything like what is this network, how internet works, what is optical fiber, something like that. You can put any questions, and yes, I will try to address that question. Okay, I guess yes, we can start with the session. So let's just give me 1 second, guys. I'm sharing my screen. Okay, am I audible now? Please let me know in the chat. Please let me know in the chat if I'm audible or not. Guys, please let me know in the chat if I'm audible or not. I'm not able to see. I'm not able to heard my voice. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, guys, for letting me know. Yes, I got it. Right now, I'm audible. Okay. So we can do one thing. We can start up with start up again. Let's say I need to remove this thing. Okay. So let's start from the beginning itself. Yeah. So, guys, in today's session, what we are going to do, I am just going to tell you the basics of what computer network is and a bit of history and how the things are working behind the scenes, like how the internet works, right? So, computer network is our topic. Okay. So the first things that comes to mind whenever we are learning this computer network is that what is this thing network? And also there is one second question about network is what is internet first of all, right? So this questions was asked to me a lot of times during my college days itself when somebody knows that I am a IT student and I am a tech guy, something like this. Okay. So first of all, let me tell you what is this network. So network is basically whenever two machines are connected with two another machines, or let's say some machines are connected. Okay. So that basically forms a network, right? So that's the very simple basic idea behind this network, right? Let's say we are taking these two machines. Okay, if they are connected, we can say that this is forming some kind of network. Okay, because they can share the files between two of them. They can exchange videos, photos, or anything they want, right? So that is simply a network. Okay, and what is this internet? Okay, so let's say I'm sitting over in India. Okay, so this computer is placed in India right away. Okay, and let's say there is some another computer or another machine. It can be anything. It can be printer, scanner, or any machine, any computer, let's say. Okay, so that's let's say PC. Okay, it is in USA. Okay, when these two systems are interconnected, so right now my network is connected over over, we can say, over a large distance, over large miles. Okay, so it's a separate country. It's a separate country, India. Okay, so these kind of networks are known as internet. Okay, so that's the thing. The next thing is that let's first of all let us do one thing. Let me just tell you a little bit history of how this internet was created. Okay, a short history, a very short history of how this internet was created. So like back then in I think in 1944, so when our second world war second was over, so after that there comes a cold war. Okay, so which was fought between whom? This USA and Soviet Union. So it was known as USSR. Okay, so at that time, USSR cracked this war and it led the war by launching its first over satellite by the name Sputnik. Sputnik. Okay, so what happens? So the USA guys thought that Sputnik lead the Cold War by launching their first ever space mission. So this USA thought that why can't we do something? Why can't we do something research over like to connecting machines or something? They want to do something in research field, right? Okay, so they forms. So after this launching of Sputnik, USA forms one agency, so that was known as ARPA, right? So this was known as ARPA. So that is basically means Advanced Research Project Agency. So this agency was responsible for inventing some new inventions, or to invent something, or to do research on space or something like. Okay, so like that. So The first, I think the first ARPA agency was set up in 1956 something, across this. I'm not sure about the year. Okay, after this, and there were four centers we can say, or there were four labs located at a specific distance. Okay, so first of all, if I wanted to see, first of all, if I wanted to share two things between one thing between these two computers or system, so previously, what we can do, we can either copy something from this computer and paste inside this computer. Okay, but the issue with this is that, let's say there is some location A, right, and there is some another location B. So how to share the files between these two computers? So for that, we can do this simple thing. We can copy something in pen drive or something, some tech gadget, and we can test that thing over this computer. Okay, but the problem again arises when there are large files to copy. Okay, so there were some stations of this ARPA, like they were located at I guess they were located at four places. Okay, what is the issue with this whiteboard? So there were four stations of this particular ARPA, and to connect all that, let's say this is the specific location one, and the first location was itself in, what happened here? Okay, the zooming level, I guess. Okay, it's fine, I guess. So there were four universities, first of all, which were connected by this internet called of thing, or at that time it was known as ARPANET. Okay, so ARPA means simple Advanced Research Project Agency, and this net is a shorthand for network, right? Okay, so how the things goes? First of all, there were four universities which were connected using this ARPANET. First was MIT. Okay, the second university was Stanford. Okay, the third university was which? This I think University of Los Angeles, and the fourth city was University of Utah. Okay, so this is the very first network setup in the USA, that is known as ARPANET. Okay, so as the year passed, there were some progresses in this ARPANET, and after that we were introduced to this internet thing. Okay, so how these things are like how the files are transferring over from one computer to another computer which is placed at some remote location. So this setup was done using some cables. Okay, so lot of people have doubt that what is internet. So some people say internet is in the cloud. We are like whenever we send one request from our computer, so it will go from our computer through router to our satellite, and then a person from one another country is accessing that particular request. Okay, so that is not the thing. Actually, internet is laid down. Internet is, you can consider it as a wire. Okay, so internet is a very large connection of wires, optical fiber cables. Okay, so I will show you that thing also in the latter part. So first of all, let us just try to understand how this internet works, how my file travels from A1 to A2. Okay, so let's say A2 is some remote location. Okay, sir, and A1 is some location in India itself. Okay, let us consider A1 as your home, whoever is watching. Okay, so what we can do, let's say, so whenever the file is transferring from A1 to A2, so it need to follow certain protocols, right? It need to follow certain protocols. And what does protocol mean? Protocol means simply a set of rules. Okay, so there are some protocols you might be familiar with. One of which is HTTP, right? And can you guys let me know what is the long form of this HTTP? I think this HTTP was covered in our high school, right? Can you guys let me know what is the like full form of this HTTP? If you guys know, please put that in our chat section. Okay, so apart from HTTP, what other protocol we have is TCP IP, and another one is IP. IP is itself a protocol, right? And after that, first of all, let me show you like how who is maintaining these protocols. Okay, so these protocols are maintained by something known as Internet Society. So Internet Society is responsible for maintaining all these protocols. So apart from IT, we have something known as DHCP, Dynamic Host Control Protocol. Okay, so yeah, you guys are good. Hypertext Transfer Protocol is the long form for HTTP. Good guys, good Nikita Muskan. Okay, so after this protocol, what we have is, but there was some problem while sharing data over these four universities. Okay, so there were, let's say, four universities. Let us just name them as A, B, C, and D. Okay, so they are all interconnected with each other like this. Okay, but there was some problem in this system. And what was the problem? Let's say there is some file, maybe by the name Vikrant. Okay, and Vikrant contains some files. Let's say let's another file by the name D or something E, something like that. Okay, so my C is sharing file with A, so this whole file will be transferred to A. Okay, and how is it possible for A to access some content from C which has reference to D? Okay, so that was not possible at that time. Okay, in today's world, what we call that type of operation is hyperlinks. Okay, if you want, no, SMTP is not used for this thing. Hyperlinks, basically, hyperlinks is a very simple thing. If so, hyperlinks were used and hyperlinks were introduced. Okay, so at this moment, okay, so at this moment, this www project was launched. Okay, and this world wide web, basically, what is this world wide web? It is just a collection of documents which are hyperlinked with each other, which are linked to each other. And how I'm saying this, just go to this Wikipedia, and you can find out that what does this www meaning. Www means, basically. Okay, so there are a lot of doubts in people's mind that what is www. Okay, so you can see here, it's a commonly known as web, is an information system. It is nothing but an information system enabling documents of other web resources. Okay, so we can access documents which are present on some another machine using that hyperlinks. Okay, so that's the basic meaning of www project, world wide web. Okay, so the next thing in this series, what we can do, uh, so the next thing is that there are certain protocols and information. Okay, so let's say here is my system, right? uh, in today's world, let's say, let's consider one real life scenario. Let's say here is my client is yours machine. Okay, yours means whoever is watching the video. Okay, and here is, let's say, a server machine. So why I'm seeing this client and server as a machine? So this client can also access, like, act as a server. Okay, if you guys know like how to work with localhost and all that thing, so this client machine, your machine, can also work as a server. Okay, if you are working in local environment. The second thing is that this server machine, so let's say I want to access some files from this server. Okay, over the internet I am doing this thing. Okay, so what happens? So there is one send request, or we can say there is one request happen whenever we are clicking on some button. Like, let's say, let's take an example of anything. Let's say there is one button called get for getting the information from the server, and we are using this get request. Let's put it here. So it's a get request, simple get request. Okay, and after receiving this request, my server will send me some data. Okay, so that's a basic response in layman language, right? And after that, how this response has been generated, so that's the another thing that also we will see how this server is giving me the response back, right? Okay, but this all things happens over some protocols. Okay, if I'm taking the example of web, so on web my HTTP protocol will work. Okay, so that's a simple thing for exchanging files, and along with that my TCP IP model will be followed, right? So what is this TCP IP model and all this thing, we will gonna cover this thing all in detail, but today right now I am just setting up the stage that how my things are working behind the scene. Are you guys getting me? Please let me know until this point if there is any problem, any issue with this thing. Please let me know in the chat, and I'm continuing with the session. Okay, so whenever my file is going from, let's say, client to server, so at that time my protocols are there. Okay, and there is one problem here. So do you guys think that let's say there is some file in my server. Okay, so let's say I'm accessing something known as Wikipedia site. Okay, do you think guys that server will send me these files as it is in full chunks? Let's say my Wikipedia size is it's a lot size. I think it's in terabytes or something like that. Okay, so it will not send me the whole data at all at one in one shot. Okay, so rather than this, it will send me data in chunks, or we can call it as packets in computer networking language. Okay, so you are gonna be thinking of these packets. What are these packets in our upcoming live session? So don't worry about this. So let us simply just do one thing. Let us go to the home page. See, I am just going to google.com first of all. This is a very bad thing actually. I'm on my Google Chrome and I'm searching for google.com. So no one does this type of thing, but just to showcase you how this thing work. So what I'm doing here, first of all, I'm right clicking on my browser and going to inspect. And after inspecting, you can see there are some Chrome developer tools over here, right? So if you are going to the network tab of this inspect, right? And let's see if I'm refreshing the page, we can see how many requests are made from this particular google.com. You can see, right? So there are some status you can see over here, 200, 200, 2004. So what are all these status? We are going to see all these things particularly, so no issues over that. So the thing is, I just wanted to let you know that many of the files that we are getting, they are whatever files we are getting from the backend. Okay, so that all files are sent to us in packets. Okay, so it will not send the file at once to us, right? So that's the thing I just wanted to show you. So let's take one another example of Flipkart. I'm going to Flipkart website, flipkart.com, and okay, so it's a pending. Let us do one thing. Let us just refresh this page. Okay, and right now you are able to see how many requests are made from this point. As soon as I refresh my page, flipkart.com, you can see a lot of files are happening, a lot of network calls are happening behind the scene. Okay, so there are many network requests that are happening, that might be get, post, put. And what are these get, put, post? We are gonna see all of this, no issues. Okay, so just to give you a context, what are these requests? Okay, there's some let me just refresh my whiteboard. Okay, so having it out until this, like what are packets and how these requests are being made. I'm just setting up the stage that my data is not gonna come to me in one single go. My server will send me the data in packets, in the form of packets. So let's say I want flipkart.com, so it will not send me the whole site in one go. First of all, it is gonna send me the nav bar. After that, it will send me the items. We can say it will send me the details of what is the sale going on. Okay, so like I think you guys are getting this thing. Are you guys getting this thing or not? Please let me know in the chat. I want this session to be interactive. Please let me in the chat, guys. What What happened to this whiteboard? Okay, I guess it's fine. Yeah. So the next point I wanted to discuss is what are these requests, this get request I talk about right now, right? Okay, so simply I am just gonna give you the overview of what are these requests. So I talk about post request, right? I talk about what is get request. I talk about patch request, and the the last one was their update request, we can say, right? And also there is one request by the name delete. So update is not any request. Instead of update, what we are using is patch or put. Okay, so these are simple HTTP methods. Okay, and what is the basic use of this method? So this post is basically used to send something to the server. Okay, so if you want to send something while filling the login form, we are sending our username and password to the server. So at that time, this post request, what this post request is made. Okay. Second thing is this get request. What is this basic get request? So this get request is basically used to get something from server, right? And after this, we have this patch method, and this patch method is basically used for updating our content. Okay, so this patch and put is basically they both are used for updating the contents, and there is one basic minute difference that you are gonna learn in backend series definitely. Sure series, I think he is taking live sessions on backend, so he will let you know what are this patch and put request, all that, and this delete, as the name suggests, is basically used to delete some content from the server. Okay, delete some content, right? So that's the basic meaning of this particular methodologies. Okay. So the next part that I am gonna cover is what are these protocol and how my packets are working. Okay, so let's take an example of your home system. Let's say in every country there is one internet service provider, right? So internet service provider, in a sense, if I have to name something, some companies, so I can say Airtel. They have their own fiber, so they are internet service providers. Okay, and after that we have Reltel, right? After Reltel we have what I don't know, but VI. Okay, so these are all internet service providers, right? And the second thing is, let's say this internet service provider will provide us something known as router, right? Router, or we can say modem. Okay. So what is the basic difference between this router and modem is that this modem is used to convert our analog analog signals to digital, right? So let's say I am typing my name in my computer and I want to send that particular file to anyone else. Okay, instead of this name, I can say I am sending one video over internet. So right now in my computer, my video is in my MP4 format or in HD quality, anything that may be. Okay, but while it is going across the internet to my friend, okay, so my modem will do what? My modem will convert that digital signal into analog signal and vice versa, right? So that's the basic use of modem. And the second thing is that what is this router? So this router is basically used to route our signal, route our request, not signals. Okay, route is something to be in a very short way. Route is known as this thing. You can see on my address bar whiteboard.com/light. Okay, so that's the route. Okay, and to be more precise, let me give you example how this scenario is happening in the back end. So let's take an example of your ISP. So here is your ISP, correct? Your ISP may be represented by your router. So let's say you are using a router of Reltel. Okay, and here is the server. Let's take an server of Google. Let's say this server belongs to Google. Correct. And what is happening? So this router may be connected to different files. Let's say this is device one. It happens, no? We have router, and we are connected to router via what? Can you guys let me know? We are connected to router via what? Which is that application, or which is that thing via which we are connected to our router at our home, at our colleges, or at whatever places? Please, guys, let me know. I want this session to be interactive. Can you guys please put that thing in the comment section, in the chat section? Sorry. Okay, so we are connected to this particular router via what? Via Wi-Fi. Okay, so Muskan, I was asking that we are connected to our home router via which application? Yes. Someone is asking what is the difference between network and server. Oh yeah, there is a lot of difference between network and server. So server's basic use is just to take the request from some client and just give it a response. Okay, and all this thing is happening over internet. Okay, internet is what? It is network itself, interconnected computers network. Okay, so that's the basic difference. Server is used to take request and to store information, we can say, and just to sends back the response to the client from where the request has come. And now we are going to see how the request is generated and how it is being transferred over the internet and all that thing, right? So let's say there is something happening. Let's say on device one, someone is searching for, let's say, WhatsApp web, we can say. Okay, WhatsApp is opening in web as a web application. Okay, that we have in WhatsApp web, I think, by the name WhatsApp web, right? Hello, Matthias. Hi. Okay, so let's say in my device one, I am opening this whatsapp.com, or maybe web whatsapp.com, something like this. So my D1 device one will send some request to my router. Okay, and my router will send request to this server, to this Google server, not Google server. This should be Meta server actually. Okay, Meta web server, something like this. Okay, so network is universe, right? And server is not any server, can be any machine can be act as server. Okay, okay, I think, okay, so the request is from router is been sent to this particular Meta server. Okay, and now the Meta will send some request from some response back. Okay, so the response will be first sent to my particular router. Okay, and after this router, my request will be sent back to this particular device. My request will not go back to this particular D2 or D3, something like this. Okay, so how is this possible for this device one to send one particular request over a router, and how my router is like targeting this particular thing, this particular server at this time? Okay, so there is one thing basically known as IP. Are you guys aware about what IP is? Can you guys put that thing in the chat if you know something about IP? Like, what is this IP thing? I will be glad if you guys know, like, what is this IP. Can you guys please put that thing in the chat if you guys know, or not know? Please put no if you don't know. I am here to teach you. No worries. Okay, no issues. So, okay, what is, first of all, what is IP? So this is simply IP address, we can say. Okay, so IP, yes, Muskan is saying it right. Like IP is the unique address for every machine. Okay, so Basically, what this IP address is, IP address you can consider something in real life scenario with your phone book. Okay, so let's say here is some number, right? Some 10-digit number, I can say. Uh, Okay, let's say here is one number, and in my contact book, in my phone book, it is saved by the name of DevTown, let's say, right? So whenever I want to call DevTown, what I will do, I will not remember this number, okay, because this is not my personal number and things or something like that. So whenever I want to call DevTown, what I will do, I will search for DevTown. Okay, I will type DevTown in my phone book search bar, and not for I will not type this particular number if I don't remember, right? So you can consider IP address as this number, okay, and this phone and this DevTown as what, DNS, okay. So DNS is something known as name domain name system. Okay, what is this domain name system? Okay, so this domain name system simply represents any IP address. So there is one specific domain name allocated for one specific IP address. Okay, no, it's a domain name system actually, Muskan. Okay, this is actually a domain name system. Okay, so first of all, what will happen right now? I will show you. I think you got the concept of what are these IP addresses. So IP addresses are basically used to, it is basically used to identify any machine by its uniqueness. Like we have Aadhaar card, right? So that according to this particular system, the IP addresses are allocated. Okay, so let's say there is some IP address for this Google server. It might be anything. It might be anything. Okay. So what happened? First of all, my router also has some IP address. Okay. So every machine that exists in the universe has some specific IP addresses, right? So my router, my ISP provider has some IP addresses. IP address, sorry, address is not only one single address. And this Mrutyunjay Bias is saying, sir, MAC address is also your unique address. Yes, MAC address is also unique address, but we will talk about this MAC in our later sessions. Later sessions. Right now, I am just setting up the stage how these things are working behind the scenes. After that, we are going to see all these protocols. What is this TCP/IP? What is this MAC? As you said, correct? No issues. Okay, so my this router has this my ISP has one particular IP, and this IP is going to be global all across the world. Okay, not only in India, it is going to be global all across the world. So whatever IP this router has, it is going to be global. Okay, so let's say server, let's say I'm sending some request from device. Okay, so my request will first of all go to router, and then router will send my request to the server. Okay, and let's say my D2 is sending a request to router, and router will send the request to server. But server don't know that from where this request is coming. My router knows that my request is coming from this device 2 or device 1 or device 3. Okay, and my devices, this D1, D2 and D3, are allocated with their local IP addresses. They might vary. Okay, so these devices might vary with their Wi-Fi. So they have their local IP addresses. And how does my router allocates this local IP to these devices which are connected to the router? So it is happening with the help of this protocol. It's a very I think fantastic protocol, that is dynamic host control protocol. So I will talk in detail about this DHCP. So don't worry about this. Okay. Someone is asking what is the difference between gateway and routers. See, gateway is uh, simply used to route our request to one particular server. So that is a gateway. Okay. So I am just answering you in a very short way, but I am going to talk about this gateway and routers in a coming live. Okay, Mike, don't worry about this. We will cover this as soon as possible. Okay, so right now, what is happening? My devices are getting their specific local IP addresses. Okay, and I think the requesting is done for as of now. So my request is going from D1 to router, and my router is sending request to server. So what happened? My server now will send back gateway work on any layer of OSI. Yes, definitely. We'll talk about that in detail. As of now, just focus here, guys. What I'm saying is I'm just setting up the stage for now. Okay, so my server has got the request. Okay, so right now my server will send back response to my router. Okay, it is not gonna send the response to directly to my devices. It will just simply send back request to this particular router, because router is the one who has requested for it, right? Okay, so after that, my router will send that particular response to my D1. Okay, but here comes the interesting thing. Okay, I think I need to draw some another diagram for this. Okay, so here is a route, here is a router, right? And here are the devices, let's say. Okay, so this IP addressing is happening over this dynamic host control protocol. Okay, so whatever IP address this router have is gonna be global IP. Okay, and let's say I'm getting my response from Google server or from Meta server, from anywhere. Let's say, okay, I'm getting request, but here what is happening? So there are many scenarios. First of all, see, let's say this divine device one belongs to me, and I have my multiple tabs open over here. Let's say I have my google.com open in my system, in my one particular application, in Chrome, let's say, and on my Edge browser, let's say I have opened my web WhatsApp, for which I have requested for. Okay, so how my device will get to know which particular application has requested for this particular request, so whom to send response? Okay, okay, so how is this happening? Okay, so it is basically happening over this thing called known as NAT, that is network access translator. So with the help of this NAT, my system will be I think with the help of this NAT, okay, with the help of this NAT, my response will go to this particular application, this edge only. Okay, and if I want to go in more details, so that particular thing is happening with the help of ports, what we can call ports. So every unique website that whatever we are visiting, so it has assigned some port. Okay, so port has different meanings. So if we talk about hardware, so they are logical units, we can say. And in computer network, if we see what are this port is a 16-bit unique number allocated to some particular websites, we can say, so that every websites can be visited by particular port. So for every application, one port is specified. Okay, are you guys getting this thing? Routers work on network layer. See, Mrutyunjay, if I directly jump onto network layer, people will not understand what is this network layer and what is this OSI model, that thing. So I'm just setting up the stage, but don't worry, I'm going to cover all that thing, that routers work on only network layer, all that thing, no issues. Okay, so till this point, are you guys having any doubt that how my request is getting sent to Google server and how it is coming back to the this particular device one? Are you guys having any doubt? If you have, please put in the chat. If you guys don't have, please put no, and we can continue. Please put that thing in the chat, guys. I just wanted to know whether Are you guys understanding this thing or not? Just put in the chat. So Mrutyunjay is saying no. Can you put? Okay, I guess you have no doubts. Shoaib Amir, yes. If you guys have any doubt, please put. Otherwise, just put the thumbs up, and we are ready to go forward. Okay. So after this, there is one thing known as IP and port. So specific router is can be identified by IP address, and specific application can be identified its port number. We can say. Okay. Shoaib is saying last diagram. Actually, Shoaib, don't worry about this thing. You can rewatch the session. Okay. The problem is that I'm in short of time, and I just need to round up the session. Okay. So don't worry. How does port work and all this thing we are gonna see. Okay, first of all, guys, just understand. I'm just setting the stage. I just want you guys to know that how system is working, how the network is working, what are this port. Okay, sure. Shoaib, if you don't understand anything, just reply to me. No issues. Okay, so right now, let's say there are two systems interconnected, and like this IP and port. Correct. So port is what? Port is basically a 16-bit number. Correct. Okay. And what is this bit number? So bit number is basically a number in binary, and it is identified by 0 and 1. So a lot of time many people say that computer only understand the language of 0 and 1. So which is this language? So that is simply binary numbers and nothing else. And do you guys know how to calculate the binary numbers? Do you know uh, in decimal or in binary how can we represent 1, 2, 3 up to simply 15, 16? Do you guys know this thing? If you have completed your college properly, I think then you guys will be able to answer this thing. If you guys know, please put yes. Okay, so the next thing is, first of all, after this binary numbers, okay, so we can say that I have 2 to the power 16 number of bits available. Not bits, 16 number of ports available. So it is something across 65,535, something like this. Okay, so these many ports are available in today's world, right? So this is just the basic idea about ports. So ports are just logical units, we can say, to identify different application while sending and receiving informations. Okay, are you guys getting till this point? Are you guys getting this thing? So the next part is if you guys if you guys have worked with this web request, if you guys know backend a little bit, so you might be know that my web is actually working over this protocol http, right? And if you are the guy who is working on with mongodb, so there is one port, I think 27017 something. So it is specified for mongodb only. We cannot run our localhost on this particular port. Okay, are you guys getting this thing? So port number 0 to 1023 are the reserve ports. We cannot access this particular ports. Okay, so this port are reserved by some particular companies. Okay, and I think from 10 to 3 to 1 something around 29,000. So these are the also ports that we cannot access for free. Okay, so for accessing them we need to pay some fee. Are you guys getting this? Are you guys getting this? Like how what are ports and all this thing? Okay, I got one question. Mike is asking, when you want to access, do you use port? And when you want, okay, what is the port number for Google if there is any? No, actually, I am not aware about this. What is the port number for Google and all that? You guys can do one thing. You guys can research for that particular thing. About MongoDB, I know. For whatever systems I have worked with, I know the port for them only particularly. So for DHCP, we have 67 port, and yeah, I think, and I know very short number of ports. Okay, so no issues, guys. So that's a theory part. Don't worry about that thing. Okay, what's happening, bhai? Okay, so our network speed, whatever router we are using, I'm now gonna talk about this network speed. Okay, so our network speed is in what Mbps? Can you guys let me know what does this Mbps represent? What does it stand for, Mbps? If any one of you know, please put that in chat. Otherwise, you can put this thumbs down as like this. 1 Mbps or something known as 1 Gbps. You might have heard about this thing, right? If you guys know this just put this thing in the chat. What does this Mbps represents? Okay, so no one is answering. I guess you guys don't know, but no issues. This simply represents mega beats per second, right? This is mega beats per second. Okay, so there are a lot of students who just say that megabytes per second. So no, it is simply a mega beats per second, right? So what does these mean? This megabit mean what? Mega means simply 10 to the power 6, and beats. So and beats 10 to the power 6 beats. Okay, so one followed by six zeros. So these much beats are being sent over a network which has 1 Mbps of speed. Are you guys getting this thing? That's a very slow speed in today's world, actually. Okay, so please keep this thing in mind that our speed is in beats per second, right? Okay, so that's the only thing I just wanted to let you know guys, that that's the bit and not the bytes, right? Not the bytes. Okay, and 1 GB simply represents what? 1 gigabit. Gigabit, right? Okay, I think you guys know this thing, so don't worry about this thing and what all that thing. And after that, I just wanted to know you the medium of how these things are working. So there are two kind of medium, we can say. One is physical medium and one is wireless medium, of how my request is getting from one device to another device. Okay, so first let us talk about these physical devices. So in physical we have optical fiber, right? And the second one is we have coaxial cables. Okay, so that's the two devices that we have. We have other cables as well, so you can research about that thing. I'm just putting etc over here. Okay, and in wireless medium we have Wi-Fi. We have this device known as Bluetooth. Okay, we have this LTE nowadays. After that, 4G, 5G, 3G. Okay, so all these are the wireless medium for internet, for transferring our data, right? Okay, so someone is asking how this optic megabits per second. Okay, so do you guys know how these optical fiber cables are being like grounded under the oceans? So our whole world is connected by wire, and this wire are made up of optical fibers. So literally, internet is just a set of wires, we can say. Okay, so let me show you some interesting thing. I guess there is something known as submarine cable map. I have to show you. Uh, Please load fast. Okay, I'm just declining this request. And you can see the word map of the optical cable fiber. Okay, so there are lots of cable fibers which are grounded or buried under the ocean bed. Okay, so let me show you something in India, nearby India. So we can see like this, our all our world is connected by optical fibers. Okay, so that's the thing. I just wanted to show you guys, nothing else. You can go on that site, submarine cable map, and you can just do some little bit of research for that particular thing. Okay, so after that, I also wanted to cover this thing. What are these LAN, PAN, and all that thing? So everything is connected by network. Okay, okay, and for every country, what we have is ISP, Internet Service Provider. Okay, so this ISP provider will differentiate on the basis of, let's say, continent or might be country. After country, we have states, region, we can say, city, something like this. Okay, and I guess in India, the largest optical fiber operator is Tata. I'm not sure about this, but it is just a wild guess. Okay, so for any network we have various types. So for short network, we have something known as personal. We can say personal network. It is not a type of network, but some people mention this thing that there is a network called personal network. Let's say if I want to connect my computer with my laptop or computer with some another laptop or computer, so we are using this particular personal network. Okay. The next thing is that we have this LAN. Okay, so this LAN network is basically used to connect a small house, we can say. Okay, small house or small apartment, we can say. Small apartment, not big apartment, right? Okay, after LAN, we have this PAN. Sorry, not PAN. We have this metropolitan area network. So this is basically used for big cities to be connected, right? And after this man, we have this wide area network. Okay, so to represent this thing in a very short manner, you can say that my WAN is consisted of many man network, metropolitan area network, and my metropolitan area network is connected of many local area networks, and this local area network is consisted of more than one personal network, we can say. Okay, so that's the very easy thing. I think this thing you might be learn this thing in your computer networks. That's the very theoretical part. Okay, so which type of cables are used they use in this particular thing, and what's the advantages of LAN, PAN, or anything, all that you might be get to learn this thing in your computer network books. So no issues, all that. But we are gonna cover this thing as along we progress in our live sessions. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to let you know, guys, is topologies. Topologies is basically a way how our network is connected, how our network is connected our net is connected or network is connected, we can say, right? So basically there are many types of topologies. First of all, to say, I'm just mentioning some of them. First of all, first is bus topology. Okay, what is this bus topology? So topology is something like this. So every, let's say there is one single cable going on, and there are this network or computers connected to this single line. Okay, okay, and here is a main source, we can say, network. Okay, so let's say for sending request from this A to B, I need to go from here to here. I need to pass my every request from this particular main line. Okay, even my line breaks here. Okay, so this particular thing, this particular computer will not be able to transfer the data from here to here. here to here itself. Okay, so that's a very basic disadvantage we can say of this bus topology. After that, what we have is ring topology. In ring topology, every device is connected to another two devices in ring format. Let's say A, B, C. Okay, sorry, A, B, C, D should be, here is E. Okay, so like this. Okay, and in ring topology, spatially the data flows in clockwise direction. Okay, and in clockwise direction, let's say I want to send something to E, and let's say C want to send something to E. So he has to pass that file to D, and D will pass that file to E. So here comes a mediator. Okay, and lots of bandwidth is needed for this particular thing. Okay, if this connection is lost from D to E, then C cannot send file to E. So that's another disadvantage, right? So the next topology that we have, next topology is star topology, right? Like let's say we have star, and we have this thing known as A, B, C, D, E devices. So in this topology, every device is connected to other two devices, we can say. Okay, again, that's a very beautiful topology. We will gonna discuss about this topologies in detail in our upcoming lives. Okay, after that we have something known as tree topology. So what is this tree topology? Tree topology you can consider simple as, let's say there is one simple tree over here, and it has joined by some another buses, like branches of tree, you can say. So that's why it is named by name as tree topology. You can it can have buses on either sides. Okay, so like this. So that's a central hub or central device, we can say. And if this device want to send this data to here, so it need to pass through this particular center network. That's the basic representation of tree topology. What are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, which types of cable we use in that particular thing. You can go on Google and read the official documentation. That's a very theoretical part. If I show you that, guys, here only you guys will get bored. Okay, so that's why I'm not telling you this thing, guys. Okay, I just want to guys to let you know all the concepts in detail, like whatever the concepts which are required to learn computer networks. Okay, so the next in the this topology we have is mesh topology. Okay, so in mesh topology everything is interconnected. So let's say we have this five devices, let's say. So everything in this particular thing is interconnected to each other. Okay, so I can send data from directly here to here. Okay, so that's the advantage we can say of our mesh topology. Okay, so these are the topologies that we have in computer networks. Okay, so after that, what we are gonna learn is structure of network. So here comes the interesting part. So till this topologies, I have only set up the stage for what we are gonna see in computer networks. Okay, so there are different kinds of HTTP methods. I can say there are different types of protocols that we are gonna learn. There is one different types of network structure of network. Here is the upcoming point we can say, and in structure of network we can see and in structure of network we can see in detail what is IP model, right? And all this thing in detail. But I am going to cover the structure of network in the upcoming session that might be happened on Monday. Not might be, it is definitely going to happen on like Sunday. Sorry, not Monday. So are you guys having any doubt until this point? Like whatever I have taught you in this particular thing in this particular session, if you guys have any doubt, you can just put that thing in the chat. And yeah, I'm done with the session right now, guys. If you have any chat any doubt, just put the thing in the chat, and I will address it. uh Rishabh is saying my voice stuck sometimes. Don't worry, Rishabh, I will try to fix that thing. I don't know what happens to this. Yes, you can put on any questions if you have. And also you can put how do you like this session? Is it informative? Is it knowledgeable? Is it, do you find it productive in a way of computer network or something like that? I have last 2 minutes. I just need to wind up this session. Please put something in chat, or otherwise I can just wind up the session. Do you have any questions? If don't have any question, then just put thumbs up. And yes, I'm ready to go. Any type of questions are welcomed related to computer network only. Where can we use topologies? So topologies are being used in colleges, schools, and in companies as well. Wherever you go, let's say if you want to connect one apartment with another apartment, or let's say you can see in your computer labs also, you can see there is some machine that is put up on the one corner of your computer lab, and through that particular machine all your computers in the system are interconnected to each other. Do you guys know this thing? So that's the thing. And what is catchy? So catchy is the concept which doesn't belong to this networking thing. But yes, in development, catches are basically used to store our data. So just to give you a short idea, so let's say if you are on flipkart.com, and for the very first time you are accessing the flipkart.com, okay, and you log in first of all, okay. So it will ask for you to store some catches or cookies, something like this. Okay, so basically these caches are just used to store some data, so that whenever next time you visit flipkart.com, it will show you the data related to that catches only. You might have heard about the YouTube algorithm, right? Whatever you view on YouTube, the next time you visit YouTube, it will show you the videos related to that particular category only. Okay, so catches are basically the use of catches is that thing only, to store data, and related to this particular data it will show you the updated data. Okay. Future of history of programmer language during feature of history or programmer language during triological. I'm not getting your question. Can you put that thing once again? Knowledge YouTube, knowledge TV, I guess. Okay. Where can we use? In colleges basically. I think I have addressed that question. You can use, you might have seen that particular thing in college. There is one hub, or which we can say. Okay. So hub is used, basically used to, we can say, connect internet with all our desktop that we have in our system. And through ethernet also, through ethernet, if you might have gone, there is some ethernet cable in our colleges. In my colleges there were some ethernet thing. Okay. What is port? I have address. Port is just a logical unit which is used to uniquely identify on which application you are working, but in a computer network. Okay. If you are asking me port, about these ports that my laptop has, this USB port and all that, so that are logical port basically. I don't have any proper idea about that. So for that, you just need to learn about some microcontroller and all this thing. That's the hardware thing. That's the hardware part. SBC, no, actually, I'm not aware about this SBC thing. Okay, I'm getting this. Okay, guys, I think done. I'm done with the session, and I will, guys, see you next time. I guess on Sunday at the same time only, 6 p.m. So please be ready for that particular session. And if you want your friends also to know about the computer networks in detail, because in the next sessions they are they are gonna most knowledgeable, because I'm gonna cover all the protocols in detail in that, specifically TCP/IP. So this TCP/IP questions is being asked in interviews also a lot of time, if they're asking something related to network. Okay, for a fresher, these concepts are very useful if you are a engineering graduate, or maybe related to technical degree if you are applied for, right? So I think I hope I'm done with the session. I will see you guys in the next session. So till then, keep coding and goodbye, guys. Thank you, Siley. Bye, guys. Bye. Good night to everyone.